Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and Pokemon fans of the world, MegaCrasher is here, and I present you guys with a very fun and exciting video. Now this has to do with Pokemon Stars, which is rumored to be the next game for release when it comes to the Pokemon franchise, and I've seen a lot of people make videos on this, but I want to take this in a bit of a different direction and present you guys with another top list video consisting of top 5 Pokemon designs I want to see in Pokemon Stars. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's do this! Oh, and by the way, let's aim for 20 likes for this crazy as hell video, and if you want to be the first to know as to when this crazy nuthouse uploads, not only hit the sub button up real nice, but also hit the notification bell so that you will be the first to know when you see me upload. Hit it up like a Bronzong, baby! Woo! Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so kicking off this list at number 5, we have this cute little guy that seems to be based off the combination of nuts and fruits, which are very common in the likes of Hawaii, and it just so happens that the Alola region is based off of Hawaii. And should Pokemon Stars take place in the Alola region, I definitely think that this design right here would be appropriate to introduce to us in that game. Now, with this design, I'm thinking of a really solid typing of Grass and Steel. Now, hear me out on this. Grass type for obvious reasons because of the fact that it is based off the likes of nuts and fruits which grow on trees, and Steel given the fact that its shell is hard like steel, which protects it from natural predators that try to eat it. Now, with all that being said, what kind of an ability should this Pokemon have? I'm thinking, how about Shell Armor? Protect it from critical hits. Now, with all that being said, I'm thinking that when it comes to its stats, it should have a really solid defensive stat that is almost rivaling that of Regirock. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I'm thinking that this Pokemon's defense stat should be around 200, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less, and it should have moderately respectable HP, somewhere around 70 to 80, and really solid special defensive stats, somewhere between 100 to maybe 110, 120, I don't even know, but definitely this Pokemon should be made as a defensive Pokemon that just absolutely refuses to die. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so up next on the list, we have ourselves a Pokemon that is based off of the Atlas Moth. Now, with this Pokemon right here, I would love to see this design introduced in Pokemon Stars, and maybe even go as far as to spark up a rivalry with the likes of Ribombee, given the fact that that is a Pokemon that is of the bug type that is introduced to us in 7th generation. Why don't we have ourselves another bug evolutionary lineup that rivals the likes of Ribombee, and I'm thinking that this right here would be perfectly suited for exactly that and more. Now, with all that being said, let's think of some typings. Obviously, a bug typing would come to mind, right? Well, you want to know something? I want to go one step further and give this thing a bug fighting typing, because when I think of Atlas, I think of tough, and this Pokemon is definitely tough. Now, of course, let's talk about the potential of abilities that it could have. I'm thinking that this Pokemon could either have something like Levitate, so that way, because of the fact that it has Pseudo wings, it will be immune to the likes of ground-type moves. But the thing of it is, considering it's a bug-type Pokemon, it doesn't give a shit about ground-type moves. So you could even give it something like Adaptability, making its same type attack bonus moves hit from 150% damage to 200% damage, giving it a significant boost in power. Now, of course, when it comes to stats, I'm definitely seeing this Pokemon as a speed demon with a minimum of at least 130 speed, maybe even go 140 speed, and make this thing an all-out physical attacker with the likes of Close Combat, U-Turn, you name it, man. And this Pokemon should have the likes of Quiver Dance, Swords Dance, just to name a few. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so coming up on the 3rd spot on this list, we actually have an idea for a Corsola evolution. Now, given the fact that Corsola is very underrated and has not had the spotlight shined onto it ever since its introduction in 2nd generation, I definitely think that giving this Pokemon an evolution would be very fitting and very appropriate. Also, given the fact that, especially in the Alola region, it is very threatened, given the fact that the likes of Marini and Toxapex hunt the thing down and eat the poor thing. So I'm thinking, giving this Pokemon an evolution would give it a solid defense against its natural predators. Now, what kind of a typing should this Pokemon be? Make this Pokemon a Water Steel typing so that way it's immune to toxins from the likes of Toxapex, Marini, just to name a few. And of course, let's talk about its abilities. I'm thinking that this Pokemon should either have Hustle Intimidate, or maybe even go as far as to give it Regenerate, kind of like what Corsola has. As a matter of fact, Regenerate would probably be the best ability in my opinion. Now when it comes to stats, this Pokemon obviously ain't going to be outspeeding things anytime soon. So it's obviously going to have a garbage speed stat, but it's going to excel immensely when it comes to its defensive capabilities. Having a really solid defense stat of at least 130 and giving it a really solid special defense stat of 120, make it have an HP of, I don't know, let's say 80, 90, hell, maybe even make it 100, man. So, with all that being said, like, having all those buffs as well as a Water Steel typing, this right here would only be the second ever Water Steel typing introduced to us, the first one being, of course, Empoleon. Oh, yeah, baby! Now, this right here is also a really epic design that I would love to see introduced to us in Pokemon Stars. We have this design right here, which seems to be based off the likes of jellyfish, electricity. I mean, my god, it's just a crazy bundle of jelly fun. Now, this Pokemon right here, I would love to see it be introduced to us in Pokemon Stars for a long list of reasons. I mean, aside from its looks, hell, let's think of some typings that it could have. How about something like electric and water? We haven't seen that typing since the likes of a Lantern being introduced to us in Generation 2. So I'm thinking that electric and water would definitely be a very appropriate typing. Now, with all that being said, let's think of some abilities that this Pokemon could have. I'm thinking either something like Clear Body or Lightning Rod. Clear Body, given the fact that, well, its body is somewhat kind of see-through, and the fact that Lightning Rod would be also fitting, given the fact that its prongs that you see in front of its face kind of resemble that of a Lightning Rod. So, I mean, you could plug that thing right into the ground and absorb electric attacks when they come at you. Now, of course, with all that being said, I'm thinking that this Pokemon is going to be a very, very solid special attacker. I'm thinking its special attack and speed are both going to be ridiculously high, and also having a solidly high HP stat, and really low defenses, and really low attack. I'm thinking that this Pokemon is going to be very solid and very difficult to face, given the fact that it's got gargantuan HP and also has really solid speed and special attack to back it up. And now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and Pokemon fans of the world, allow me to present you guys with a potential second pseudo-legendary to be introduced in Generation 7. Now, before you guys go all crazy on me, check me out on this. Let's remember back to Generation 3, where we had Metagross and Salamence. Those are two pseudo-legendaries introduced to us in the same generation, so it definitely wouldn't be too far-fetched of an idea to introduce a second pseudo-legendary in the same generation. Now, with the Pokemon design like this, I am definitely seeing some rock and draconic features to it, so it could be a rock and dragon typing. Now, a little bit of a backstory here. I'm thinking that this Pokemon right here would have a long-lasting rivalry with the likes of Komodo, and they have fought centuries and centuries and centuries over territory. And that battle has yet to cease even to this day. You could even consider this like another version of Zangoose and Seviper battling it out, since they've had a bitter rivalry and hatred for one another. This right here could be something similar to that effect. Now, with all that being said, it would obviously be a rock and dragon typing. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at some possible abilities that this thing could have. I'm thinking that this thing needs to have solid rock, because rock and dragon isn't exactly the best typing, so giving it solid rock would definitely help with its multiple weaknesses. And what solid rock does is it flattens, well, not flattens down, but it cuts down the power of super effective moves by 25%. Now, with all that being said, let's think of some potential stats this thing could have. I'm thinking that its highest stat is going to be its defense stat. I'm thinking that this defense stat is going to be at least 150, and maybe even have its HP at base 120, and have its attack stat at like base 110 or something like that, and have everything else that be moderately average to below average, the lowest stat obviously being its speed. Now, that right there is just my opinion. That right there is just my idea. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so that right there is what's going to conclude this video. It was surprisingly challenging to make because I've had a severe mental block when it came to trying to come up with really good ideas as to how these Pokemon designs would fit in the introduction of Pokemon Stars, should that actually become a thing. So if you guys really did enjoy this video, then make sure you show some extra love and hit that sub button and the like button as well. So with all that being said, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you smash the hell of the like button, man. Like I said at the beginning of the program, let's aim for 20 likes. And if you want more content like this, make sure you rate, comment, share this video, and subscribe today to MegaCrasher and the community for the best, and not me without a shadow of a doubt, the best Pokemon Sun Moon hype they can find right now, right here on YouTube, and just overall the best hype and entertainment, filled with fire, filled with electricity, filled with ice and everything nice, coming from yours truly, known as MegaCrasher, because you guys don't know the deal by now, my friends. When we're coming to the entire pack on this one, you know that we shine brighter than the sun and the moon combined. So thanks for watching, and don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to be the first to notice when you see this crazy guy upload, then make sure you hit that notification bell like a bronze zone, baby. Woo! So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next upload.